Over the last, obviously, couple of months, couple of weeks, but certainly the last couple of days as the latest compromises came out in the Senate version of the bill of healthcare reform, I was struggling with, in the end, do you vote yes or no? Okay, because I take this stuff very seriously. If I think that it should be a no, I get that it's not some theoretical thing, and I don't view it as like, oh, it's easy to say that because I'm not really voting. I take it as this is what I would actually do, and if I voted no, maybe it's the vote that takes it over the top and we don't get it. I mean, understand that that's how I view it, even though, of course, I'm not a senator, and that is not what's going to happen. But I don't want to be flippant about it, is my point. So I read all the pros of people saying genuine arguments, good arguments in some cases, saying, here's what's right about the bill. And 30 million new people get covered, $900 billion in subsidies so that poor and middle-class people can get insurance when they didn't get it before, and the list goes on of things that are positive about the bill. And I read all the people who had said the negative things about the bills, and they had great points. Is it really covering those people if it's a mandate? If it's a mandate and they have to actually buy the insurance from private insurance, well, then you're not really covering them. You're forcing them to buy the insurance. So, and then that had a whole list. And we've been doing over the last couple of days on the show all the pros and all the cons. And I said, look, I'm leaning a little towards vote no on the bill because I thought those guys had the better points. And I was about 55-45 on it, still open to listening to what other people have to say. Well, today I made my decision. Now, why? Because I listened to one more set of people. You, the American people. Okay, all right. Seriously? Not the emails or comments, etc. I take that stuff very seriously too. But no, the polls. Because, some politicians say, I don't care about the polls. I don't guide by the polls. But we're in a democracy. I think what people want is fairly relevant in a democracy. Now, sometimes the polls are either vaguely worded or they're kind of in the middle. And of course you shouldn't make all your decisions based on the polls, but sometimes they're very clear. And when they're that clear, you should listen. So let's look at 3 polls here that explain exactly what the American people want and don't want. First poll is from the Progressive Change Campaign Committee. They didn't do the poll. They commissioned out to Research 2000, which is a nonpartisan polling organization. When the question was asked, do you favor a health care bill that does not include a public health insurance option and does not expand Medicare, but would give you all the other benefits that we just described? Only 33% said they want that bill. That's the current bill. Only 33%. That's a tiny number in favor of the bill as it's currently construed in the Senate. Meanwhile, if the public option and Medicare buy-in are added, the number jumps from 33 to 58%. They're saying I can take a mandate if you give me an option of buying it from the government, whether it's a public option or a Medicare buy-in, okay? So that's 58% saying, okay. So what Joe Lieberman did there, and Ben Nelson, and honestly Barack Obama, was they said they cost the popularity of this bill from 58 to 33% to appease a couple of conservative senators and to appease the corporate interests. Well, then you have an unpopular bill. The people don't want it. All right, if you're not convinced yet, let's give you more numbers. Sure, with the public option, number of Democrats in favor of the bill jumps all the way to 88%. That's not that surprising. Number of independents in favor of the bill jumps all the way to 57%. That's a really solid number. Without it, independents are not on board, okay? When you ask respondents about requiring uninsured Americans to buy health insurance and giving some people's subsidies to help afford it, is that the same as providing coverage for 30 million? So you get a mandate plus subsidies, right? Being fair in the question. Now, is that the same as providing coverage? Only 36% of respondents said, yeah, that's universal coverage. No, it's not. It's not really coverage if you're forcing me to buy the bill. Now, you say, all right, look, Progressive Change Campaign Committee asked for that poll. Maybe Research 2000 might have skewed it a little bit. All right, let's go to other polls. Here's an NBC Wall Street Journal poll. They're certainly not going to skew it liberal, that's for damn sure. Wall Street Journal, of course, owned by Rupert Murdoch, and et cetera, and it's a legitimate poll, okay? When asked, do you find it unacceptable, the word is unacceptable, if a bill on health care reform without a public option, 45%, a plurality, 45% said it is unacceptable to have a bill without a public option. How much clearer do they need to be? Okay, you're still not buying it. Or I'll go to a third poll. This was commissioned by Healthcare for America Now. Now, they're on the pro-reform side, okay? 64% of national respondents said they oppose legislation requiring everyone to buy and be covered by a private health insurance plan. They don't want the mandate. It is absolutely clear. Now, 60% of the respondents said they favored legislation requiring everyone to buy and be covered by a health insurance plan with a choice between a public option and a private insurance plan. Again, in this poll, okay, these numbers are important because it's the will of the American people. When you put all of them together, you get a clear sense of it. So they're saying, with the public option, 60% are in favor. Without the public option, with just the mandate, even with the subsidies, 64% are against. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. They don't want the mandate unless it comes with a public option. So that's it. It's over. Vote no. Vote no. Because on a policy perspective and a political perspective, there's an iceberg straight ahead. You pass a bill that the corporations, corporate America is very happy with, that conservatives are very happy with, and it sticks the American people with a mandate and no option to buy from the government, whether it's Medicare buy-in or a public option. They're going to hate it. They already tell you they hate it. They don't want it. Now, if you give a bill to the American people that they don't want, well, you're going to run into the iceberg. By the time the elections come around, you're going to be in disastrous shape. And already, a friend of mine came up to me and said, Cenk, I just heard on the radio from, of course, conservative talk show hosts, that if you don't buy this mandated insurance, you're going to get fines. I said, well, that's true, actually. And they said, they're going to put you in jail. I said, of course that's not true. And they said, okay, yeah, I didn't think that was true. But they're already spreading it. So get a load of this great trick that the conservatives have done. They made the bill much weaker, much worse. And then none of the Republicans vote for it anyway, right? And then they're already planning on running against it because of the weak stuff they put in the bill. Now, if you see that iceberg and you say, I don't know, I think I got it. I think I'm going to ram straight into it and it's still going to be okay. Well, that's hubris. And it's a recipe for disaster. If you pass this bill, given where the American people are right now, you're going to face their fury and their wrath. The Republicans are going to exploit this. They've been planning it the whole time. And in the end, the American people don't consider it real reform. They don't feel like they're actually covered. And from a policy perspective, you have to respect that as well. It's the wish of the American. Vote no. Vote no. And look, in the end, my guess is they're not going to listen to me. They're going to pass the bill. They're going to give a concession to the unions. They're going to tax the wealthy as a way of paying it rather than taxing the high-end health insurance plans, which a lot of the union members have. So they're going to try to make all the special interests happy. They're going to try to, and when you try to make everyone happy, you know how it works out for you. It doesn't work out. It winds up being a disaster. And then I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. And after they pass it, we'll find out. We'll find out if my concerns were misplaced, and I hope they were. But I saw the Republicans heading off a cliff in 06 and in 08. We told them there was an iceberg straight ahead. They didn't listen. Now the Democrats have an iceberg straight ahead. We'll see if they listen.